Hey everyone, it's Numbster. I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. Modern Warfare 2 now has been released for a little less than a week, and I have put just around 40 hours into the game so far, and thought it was time to compile a pros and cons list of the game. So if you're someone that is debating on getting the game and wanted to know what is good and what is bad, then you're in the right spot. Or if you're someone that's currently owns the game and just want to see what others are saying about it, then you're also in the right spot. But before we go any further, I will ask politely if you would drop a like on the video, and if you have anything else you would like to add to the video that I do not mention, you can comment it down below. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, also hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's get into this list. I will separate this video talking about different topics, obviously. We're going to start first with the overall construction of Modern Warfare 2, which includes just loading up the game and how it performs and the user interface and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to talk about first. And real quick, this video is not going to be a full-on rant about how Modern Warfare 2 is really, really bad or anything like that. I just made a list of pros and cons, and I just want to address them. I myself am actually having a pretty good time playing this game. Some people, can't say the same. But I still want to address the points from both sides of the equation. So, everything wrong with Modern Warfare 2. The first thing that you'll notice when launching into Modern Warfare 2 is the user interface, or the UI. It is quite possibly one of the most confusing UIs we've ever had in a Call of Duty game. And if anyone here works or is like in a job or anything like that, doing classes, I almost feel like I need to take an hour-long session, like in a meeting, to figure out how to properly use the user interface. It's not user-friendly whatsoever. It's hard to find your friends. It's hard to even know how to invite your friends. It's hard to manage a party. It's just a very, very confusing system. I felt like this could have been refined entirely. I did see, however, the UI apparently in Modern Warfare 2 replicates what it will look like on the mobile version of Warzone or Call of Duty. I don't know which one it is. So that could be why we have such a confusing interface, because they took what they had mobile and just put it on PC, console, and it just doesn't make for a really, good user interface. The next thing I would like to address is the overall optimization of Modern Warfare 2. Granted, it is a brand new game. It's not going to be optimized to its full potential. However, I have a pretty top-of-the-line computer right now, Ryzen 5 5600X with a 3070, 32 gigs of RAM, and I'm getting significantly less frames than I would on Modern Warfare 2019 at pretty much all low settings. On top of just the frame rates, too, there's a lot of in-game stuttering, drivers aren't matching up correctly, a lot of people are having problems with computers, and on console as well. So it's not just a PC thing, it's also on the consoles where we're having a lot of glitches and bugs in-game as well. Optimization seems to be the trend, though, with new releases, where it's really shit at the beginning of the launch, but then progressively gets better over time, but it still definitely needs to be on the list of bad things about Modern Warfare 2 currently, because it's pretty bad. Now, going forward, the next thing I want to talk about in the construction of Modern Warfare 2 is the overall audio. The audio was weird in the beta. Footsteps were really, really loud for some reason, and you couldn't really differentiate your teammates' footsteps from the enemy footsteps. They have addressed this in the full multiplayer launch, but I still feel like, and a lot of other people feel like, the audio is still, it's just not there. Footstep audio is either it's there and you can hear it, or it's just not there and it's the person has dead silence when in reality they're jumping, sprinting, and so on and so forth. Audio, though, has been an issue with Warzone and MW2 I'm not sure about Cold War Vanguard, but audio's always been just something that's been in the works, in my opinion, for Call of Duties, and it's no different here. You're gonna play multiplayer, and you're gonna notice that some dude's running right behind you, and you're not gonna hear a lick of it, and you're just gonna die, and you're gonna be like, where was his audio? It's unfortunately kind of what the trend is with Call of Duty nowadays, but that is still, of course, on the list of bad things. Now, the next thing I wanted to note is about progression in multiplayer and being able to view your stats, right? In older Call of Duties, like Modern Warfare 2019, for example, they had the barracks where you could go in, you can go see your progression, your overall KD, the amount of kills you had, the amount of wins you had, your win-loss ratio, the amount of kills you had with a certain weapon, and on and on and on, right? And that was a really cool system. You can go see what you were really good at, you can go see, just a whole bunch of stats. There is nothing like that in Modern Warfare 2. You can't check your KD, you can't check your win-loss ratio, you can't check how many kills you have with a certain gun. There is quite literally nothing you can check. So if you've been making really good progression and you feel like you're getting better as a player, there is no way to actually see that metric in the game, which is very, very, very unfortunate. Even if you're a casual player and you don't even care about that stuff, there are people out there, though, that would like to see them progress in a Call of Duty and see how they, get better. Because overall, like, all of us want to get good at the video game. We're not, no one hops on multiplayer and goes, wow, today I'm going to get really bad. No, people want to improve. People want to see, their stats. And just not having overall stats is just quite literally one of the bare bone things that they should have implemented into this game, but they didn't. And the next thing of like the construction of Modern Warfare 2 I wanted to address was the overall perk system. This is a perk system that we've never seen before, and they try, and I give them props. They're trying new things, Infinity Ward and just Call of Duty Activision. They're trying new things. They're trying stuff that, they've never done before, because it's always good to switch things up here and there. But the perk system in this game is nothing like it was in old Call of Duties. In this game, you have to set a certain amount of perks, and you get those perks as the game progresses. So you might have 4 perks on, let's just say, cold-blooded, sleight of hand, blah, 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 blah. You won't get all those 4 perks as soon as you spawn into the map. You'll get one, and then the next, and then the next, and then you'll get your ultimate perk at the end, which I think is like High Alert or Quick Fix or whatnot. But basically, you won't get your final perk until halfway through the game, usually. I don't know, time might differ depending on how you're performing in the game, but usually in old Call of Duties, and any Call of Duty, and all the Call of Duties that have been pretty much released, you pick your perks as your class setup, and you load into the game, and then those are the perks you have. No one ever complained about it. The only thing we complained about was just certain perks being overpowered and whatnot, and that was it. But this new perk system I'm not really enjoying it, honestly. And the other thing too with perks is they're bringing back perks that were that were in old Call of Duties that we really didn't want to see again. For example, Last Stand is in this Call of Duty. If you guys don't know, Last Stand was the stupidest perk, in my opinion, ever. Last Stand, in my opinion, is in comparison to Martyrdom from COD 4. When someone died, they dropped a grenade on death. It was just like, it was one of those things that you were like, really? All right, so moving away to like the overall like construction of Modern Warfare 2. I know I've been saying that term a lot today. Please don't turn this into a drinking game. You might die. But we're going to be moving more into the actual gameplay of Modern Warfare 2, how it feels to launch into a multiplayer match. And the first thing I want to mention that I noticed immediately, and that you'll notice immediately if you haven't, is the overall aim down sight speed, or ADS speed, and the sprint to fire speed in Modern Warfare 2. In old Call of Duties, it has never been an issue. If you built out the weapon to be fast ADS-wise, or didn't build it out to be fast ADS speed, it was still, manageable. This game, if you don't run ADS attachments at all, the ADS speed is unbearably slow. It takes a good couple seconds to fully ADS sometimes. I was using the AK-47. I just had it built out pretty normal, like a pretty normal build, nothing crazy, and the ADS speed would take forever. And also the sprint to fire speed too. If you're running at someone and you need to shoot real quick, it's going to take you a second, which has never really been an issue until now. And on top of the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed, there's also another penalty with that. If you jump in ADS, it's even slower. I'm saying it now, they have to buff it, because I've lost so many gunfights from, not being able to ADS fast enough. And the thing is too, I don't know if it's the ADS speed across all weapons, but it seems like the sniper rifles have faster ADS speeds than the ARs in this game, which really, in my mind, just doesn't make sense. You can customize your weapons however you want to, and like if you want a fast ADS time on snipers, you could do that. But I'm saying bare bones, if you had a bare bone M4 with no attachments versus a bare bone sniper, the sniper has faster ADS than the M4, it feels like in this game. And along with the ADS speed and the whole sprint to fire thing that I just talked about, the visual recoil when actually using weapons in this game is still rough. In the beta, it was abysmal. It was awful. Like the iron sights were bouncing up and down, and quite literally, the iron sights would totally block your vision, like in front of you. It was atrocious, on top of like the smoke and the muzzle flashes and all that crap. They have addressed it, they have fixed it somewhat, but it is still pretty bad. Even if you built out a weapon for full accuracy, no recoil, whatever, the visual recoil is still pretty bad. And I get that they're trying to be more realistic with the gunplay and trying to simulate, recoil and whatnot. But in all honesty, we're not playing a milsim. We're playing Call of Duty, an arcade shooter. If you went to MW 2019, if you played MW 2019, I should say, and you used the M13, that thing had little to no recoil, and it was fun using it. But guns in this game, every single weapon you have, even if you build it out to be literally a mounted, no recoil weapon, it still has a pretty decent amount of visual recoil. So, yeah. And with the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed that I just mentioned, I want to talk about the attachments in Modern Warfare 2. I feel like, and I've actually seen a bunch of tweets on this, which is very interesting. I feel like, though, the bare bone, like if you had like an M4 with no attachments on it, I feel like that performs better than a fully leveled out M4 with attachments and everything on it. I feel like the attachments in this game do more harm than good. It's so interesting, in fact, that sometimes I only run a couple attachments on my weapons just because the normal barrel that comes with it and everything else is just as good, if not better, than if I put more stuff on my weapon. I'll literally run around with 2 or 3 attachments. That's about it. A sight and maybe a bigger mag. Everything else kind of stays the same. But it shouldn't work like that. When you level up a weapon and max out the weapon and get attachments, those attachments are meant to make the weapon feel better, more smooth, more, you can control the weapon. In this game, it just throws it all over the spectrum. Yeah, it might give it a little more damage. You put a longer barrel on it and whatnot. But like I said, everything you throw on the weapon just decreases the ADS time. Or increases the ADS time, sorry, and it just makes it feel slower and less controllable, and it's just, for some reason, the attachment system and how the attachments correlate with the weapons and how it messes with its stats don't add up like they did in older Call of Duties. Now, we will mention the attachment system later on in this video. On top of doing the cons, I will be doing a pros so you guys can see the best of both worlds. Now, the next thing I have on my list is it's been controversial, honestly, within Call of Duty. And it's about the TTK, the time to kill. In this game, I feel like it just keeps on getting lower and lower. But the TTK in this game, in Modern Warfare 2, it's weird. It's interesting. Up close, it's very, very, very fast. You have no time to react. Up close, it takes an average of like 3 bullets to kill you from an AR. You can imagine how fast an AR shoots. 3 bullets is nothing. Though at range, if you're using an AR or an SMG or something, the TTK feels like it's taking forever. It's just all over the place. Now, I really don't mind fast TTK games. It makes for faster paced, awesome, experience sometimes. But at the same time, too, if you're dying too fast where you can't react, like, what's the fun in that? And also, if you put 10 bullets into someone at range in a game and you're just like, what? Like, how are they alive? It's also kind of annoying as well. Now, I don't think they'll change the TTK. I don't think it's ever going to change, to be completely honest. There'll be weapons that get patching, but overall, the TTK in this game is a little wonky, so just heads up if you haven't played the game yet. If you have played the game, you've obviously noticed it now. Now, going forward, this concern or con was really, really prevalent in Modern Warfare 2019. Definitely not Vanguard. If you're a sniper, you 100% agree with me. It was not a problem, but it was just an imbalance in Modern Warfare 2019 Cold War, but not Vanguard. Sniping in this game so far, as it stands, is pretty ridiculous. The SPR 208 in this game is it's ridiculous. It is nuts. So the snipers currently in this game are very OP compared to like any other class. The SPR has like a crazy fast ADS speed, crazy amount of damage, and the fire rate is ridiculous as a sniper. I'll be surprised if it doesn't get nerfed soon, but it's something to mention that the balancing of the game and the guns right now is a little wonky as well. As we move forward into the future, the progression of this game, I understand that there'll be balances and patches and whatnot. But as it stands of this video being uploaded, I'm constantly getting destroyed by the SPR and other snipers just because of just how ridiculous they are, kind of. And don't get me wrong, I love to snipe. I really do. I used to be a sniper back in the day, but it's a little ridiculous right now. Now, the next 2 points that I have for Modern Warfare 2 are the 2 points that are the most controversial and the most, like, talked about on Twitter, social media, videos, streams, whatnot. And it has to do with the movements in Modern Warfare 2, as well as the play style of Modern Warfare 2. There was a meme and everything about how the play style of Modern Warfare 2 has gone towards a more Sentinel style, where people are sitting in corners, laying down in bushes, playing very, very, pretty much scared, if I had to be honest, trying not to get killed and just kind of playing like little rats in corners. Hear me out about this. No, I fucking hate playing like that. I will never play like that. I'm honest, I'm a very aggro player. I've always been aggressive. I always like to get into the gunfight, try to just get in, get out kind of thing. I get bored if I sit in a corner for too long. If I'm not doing a challenge, like I need to get like a nuke or something like that, I'm not going to play like that. However, the game is brand new, and honestly, the game feels very different compared to other Call of Duties we played, and I understand why people are playing like that right now. A lot of people don't know the maps, a lot of people don't know the mechanics of the game yet. People are still learning things out, and people don't want to run to in the middle of nowhere and die immediately. They want to like play a little slower, they want to understand the game, they want to kind of digest the information at them. And I think, honestly, hear me out, over time, this game, you'll start to notice how people play it more and more and how faster pace it might feel in a little bit. But currently, as it stays, most of the play styles in this game is camping in corners, shotguns, not moving at all, very Sentinel play style. And it hurts and it doesn't hurt at sometimes. Like, sometimes it's not bad and I really don't care about it, but other times it's like, oh man, get out of that corner, you are a rat. And following with the play style that I just mentioned is the overall movement mechanic. Now, if you don't like the movement mechanics in this game, understandably, I played Warzone, I played MW2 dude, I couldn't tell you how many slide cancels I was fucking pulling off, breaking cameras and shit. Understandably, right? Though, I honestly don't mind slide canceling being out. I actually like the feel of the movement in this game, if I could be completely honest. It reminds me of older Call of Duties. However, the movement mechanics currently still make it feel very slow. There is sliding and there is dolphin diving in this Call of Duty. However, they've made it to the point where there's no use of it within a gunfight. The one thing that I figured out that the only need or use for sliding or dolphin diving in this game is going from one piece of cover to another piece of cover real quick. If you're trying to slide or dolphin dive to outmaneuver your enemy teammate, you're not going to do it. You will die to an enemy 90% of the time if you slide or dolphin dive during a gunfight. And this has to do with when you're sliding, you can't shoot, and when you're diving, you have to literally wait like a second for your character to reset before shooting as well. The movement in this game, if you're a movement demon, if you like the movement of Warzone and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 and Vanguard even, I think even Cold War 2, it is nothing like those games, all right? It is nothing like those old Call of Duties we have, and it's thrown the community in a loop, because for the last, literally, I would even say 3 years, we've been used to slide canceling and all these movement mechanics to break cameras and whatnot with Warzone and Call of Duty and whatnot. This game, they totally just cut it out completely. They basically called it exploits, slide canceling and whatnot. So they totally removed those mechanics that we've been used to for the past 3 years, and a lot of people are upset about it. And rightfully so. I actually loved slide canceling because it made me feel, fast, agile. Like it fed my play style as well. Like I said, my play style, I like to run and gun. That's just how I am. That's how I've always been playing since COD 4, right? Slide canceling and the movement mechanics that we've had for the last 3 years, fueled my playstyle. It helped me, like I was able to, run and gun, but also be able to, outmaneuver individuals. There was a certain skill gap with that movement mechanic. But they have gone ahead and removed it, and give it a little bit of time. The movement in this game is chalked compared to the last 3 years of Call of Duty, but it's something new, and it's something we have to adapt, and something that we have to utilize going forward within the game, and I'm not too upset about it. I really am not. There are moments where I wish I had slide cancel, don't get me wrong, there are moments, but over time, I feel like we're going to get used to this movement. I feel like we're going to be able to use it to our advantage, but if you didn't care about movement, then this part doesn't really matter to you. But if you were a movement demon, little Iskra skin on Rebirth Island, it's unfortunately going to hinder you. And with the multiplayer, this has kind of always been a thing of Call of Duty. You have some really good maps, and you have some really, really bad maps. This game, though, honestly, I actually am enjoying most of the maps. I will say most. I would say like a solid 70-80%. There are, though, a couple maps that are just, I don't even know how they made it into the full game, completely honest. And there is a meme going around of the one map that's literally pretty much a single lane on a highway border patrol crossing area where it's just literally a bunch of cars. And I can't even begin to fathom how they even thought of this map and how they actually pushed it out to development and how they even pushed it out to the full game. I don't know how many, they must have skipped so many quality control test points, because the map is just, I literally always just don't even play it. Don't even play it. If you get this game, or if you have this game, just skip the map. It is just explosion central and literally laying prone central behind cars. It's just a total maze and just awful construction of a map. Though some maps are good, I really am enjoying some of the 6v6 maps on SND. But also, if you go play Ground War Invasion, the maps are pretty massive. The spawn points are very far away from where the action is. And so, you know, there is a little back and forth action. But for the most part, the maps are decent. And the last point I had on my list of concerns with Modern Warfare 2 was the challenges to get gold camos and the challenges to get camos in Modern Warfare 2. Very quick point. It's not the biggest deal in the world to me, but it kind of feeds into the play style of this game and whatnot just a little bit. Honestly, the challenges for gold, they're not hard challenges. They just take a long time to complete. And some of the challenges you have to do are very simple, like get 50 kills or get 10 double kills. Usually the last one to get gold is get 3 kills without dying 10 times, which really isn't hard. But there are some that feed into the very, you know, slow play style. One of them being mounted kills. I don't like mounted kills, but, you know, it could be worse. I think it's like 15 kills, which is not a lot of mounted kills. In Modern Warfare 2019, you need to get a lot more. So I'm grateful they cut down that number by a significant amount. But the one challenge I've had so far is the kills from behind. That challenge alone is why I made this a concern on my list. You quite literally have to sit in a corner with cold-blooded UAV, whatever, and hope to God someone runs right by you so you can kill them from behind. It takes a long time to get kills from behind because of just how the game is. It makes you play like a camper in a corner. It just makes me feel like an asshole, to be completely honest. Because no one wants to die to a dude who's camping in a corner so he can get a kill from behind. Like, imagine, you're running through, you're trying to get to a hard point, or you're trying to get to an objective or whatever, you're trying to play the game, and you just get killed by some dude camping in a corner behind. You're like, really, dog? I felt like some of these challenges could be a lot more interesting, rather than literally, let's have him sit in a corner and try to kill someone behind. That's just, I don't like that at all. But I will say, the gold grind is pretty fun. Now, with that all being said, that is my entire list of concerns and everything wrong with Modern Warfare 2. But right at the beginning of the video, I did let you guys know that we were going to do both pros and cons because this game is not all bad. There is some great things about this game that you deserve to know about. And honestly, the parts that I very, very, very much have been enjoying so far. The next thing I want to mention is the game modes that are available to us. Currently, we don't have the full game yet. Technically, there are different modes coming out. Warzone obviously being one, I believe DMZ mode, but there is a ton of game modes for everyone to play, multiplayer-wise, Invasion, Ground War, DMZ when it comes out, Warzone when it comes out. There is going to be a ton of game modes for people to play and to enjoy on this game. Fun fact, to level up my weapons and get gold, I actually go and play Invasion, which is Ground War with actual players that also includes bots or AIs. It's a great way to level up your weapons, and once I level up my weapon to its max level, I hop over to Hardpoint and do the challenges there. It makes for a lot of versatility with, you know, doing attachments, doing achievements, doing other stuff, and it keeps it actually somewhat fresh, and I've actually been enjoying, you know, trying out the other game modes in Call of Duty. The gun leveling, actually, in Modern Warfare 2 is pretty fun. So far, the grind has been great. Dude, there's some streamer out there by the name Reed Boy that's at like 30 or 40 guns gold so far, and the game's been out for like 2 or 3 days. It's crazy. But honestly, the leveling and the gold grind and everything is actually a pretty fun time so far in Modern Warfare 2. So if you're going for the mastery camos in this game, you'll probably have a decent time. Now, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be some weapons that are annoying, but that's just how it is, right? You can't really change that. I'm just saying overall, the experience of trying to grind for gold and grind for levels on weapons is a pretty cool time. It actually makes you use all the weapons in this game, which is fantastic because of how many weapons and customization options and whatnot that's in Modern Warfare 2. You might find your new favorite weapon by doing the gun leveling and going for mastery camos, and I think it's awesome. The first thing I want to mention about the pros list of Modern Warfare 2, I might get some hate for this, to be completely honest, but this is just my personal opinion. Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, okay? This is a safe zone, okay? You can't point fingers at me right now. But I think the gunplay feels pretty damn decent in this Call of Duty. You know, one of the things that I noticed in Modern Warfare 2 versus MW 2019, for example, the predecessor to this game, is that SMGs in MW 2019 would sometimes always outbeam, if not always outbeam, some ARs in that game from a decent distance too. The MP5 would always outbeam my M13 here and there. But in this game, the ARs act like ARs most of the time. If you're at a long range and you have an SMG, you're not going to do shit with the thing. But if you have an AR, it actually acts like an AR. And vice versa. Up close, SMGs obviously will be better than ARs. I feel like the balancing of the weapon types is there, and it's nice. Now, following the gunplay, I do want to talk about the customization and like the cosmetics of weapons in this game. There is a lot of customization in this game and utilization of all sorts of attachments and weapons and whatnot. I was seeing builds on my Twitter timeline. Shout out to Numbster because he built some pretty crazy weapons already, and I felt the need to share them with you in this video. And it kind of gives a great example on like the weird shit that we can really make in this game, which I think is gonna make for some funny ass content. So, you know, dead sure I'll be using the slowest ADS Magnum that has a sniper scope that's larger than the weapon itself, 100%. Now, like I mentioned though, in the cons list of this video, they do need to make adjustments to the system. Right, like I mentioned, like attachments feel like it's hindering the weapons and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if they make those necessary changes, the customization and cosmetics of this game alone will outweigh every other Call of Duty by far. And on top of the customization and cosmetics, okay, at this current time, they don't have it in because there was an exploit with it, but they had something called weapon tuning where you can actually tune it to the kind of like playstyle you wanted to. If you wanted faster ADS time and faster sprint to speed, wait, what? If you want a faster ADS time and a faster sprint to fire speed, you could tune the weapon to that liking. They did remove it though because, you know, exploits and, you know indie level developers, but I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, we'll keep going forward. The next thing I want to talk about, which I'm actually surprised I didn't mention at first, is overall the graphics and visuals are beautiful in this game. The graphics look amazing. The textures look amazing. The camos, man, MW 2019 gold. Let me tell you, if you had gold camo in MW 2019, that I don't even know if it was even considered gold. That shit was ugly. The gold in MW2, at least, dog, it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous, especially with the right settings and everything. Oh, the thumbnails are great. If you go look at my other video, go look at my old video, or look at my recent uploads, MW2, gold M4, gold Scar, I think maybe no gold AK. I don't know if this video is coming out before, but anyways, beautiful. It's fantastic. The game looks amazing. And yeah, that is everything wrong and right about Modern Warfare 2. Now, my personal opinion, I of course will add on right at the end of the video. I really have been enjoying this game. The reason being I think I'm enjoying this game so much, however, is because I've been playing Modern Warfare 2019 for 3 years now. So ever since it launched. Cold War, I hated. It crashed my computer and everything over 20 times, and I never played that game past the first week. Vanguard, we don't have to say anything. We all can come to an agreement about Vanguard, because wow. So for the last 3 years, I've been stuck on MW 2019 and Warzone, and this is such a fresh of breath air. Fresh of breath air. Oh, fuck me. It is such a breath of fresh air. Christ, that it makes it fun. It's super. I used to play Warzone, and that was mainly the content on this YouTube channel. And I switched over to Search and Destroy, and I'm having a blast so far playing with friends and everything. Now, some of the cons on this list will be adjusted and addressed probably going forward into the future. I feel like though that MW2 has a ton of potential. I'm gonna keep on playing it. I'm gonna keep on going, and I'm gonna enjoy myself pretty much the entire time I'm playing this game because the last 3 Call of Duties now, I'm saying now, MW 2019 is dead to me. Cold War's dead and Vanguard's dead to me. I think Modern Warfare 2 has a ton to offer, and there's plenty more to come with this game. We've only seen the multiplayer in the campaign. We still have to wait for DMZ mode. We're still waiting for the Warzone. And on top of everything, we're going to be getting the original, the OG MW2 maps, which includes high rise, terminal, all that stuff. And I think when those maps drop, hear me out. I think when those maps drop and the changes we want are fixed and addressed, hopefully, this game will be a top Call of Duty. It will surpass Vanguard. It'll surpass Cold War. It might surpass MW 2019. That one I don't know. But I think this Call of Duty is going to be historic because we have it for 2 years. It's not a 1-year COD anymore. It's 2 years. They're not going to fumble the bag because if they fumble the bag any harder with this Call of Duty, the franchise will take a massive hit. Right? Vanguard, they already took a massive hit with Vanguard, and they knew they took a massive hit with Vanguard. It was in like all the reports and everything with their investors and whatnot. I think Modern Warfare 2, in the long haul, if you stick with it, like I will, it's going to be a very, very, very fun game. And I actually, you know, with everything currently, and let's be real. Let's be real for 1 second, okay? Sit down, get your drink, suck this in. It's been a week. It has been a week, okay? Give this game a month. maybe 2 months. I'm going to give it plenty of time, right? I'm not going anywhere. I'm actually enjoying it. Take everything that I said today with a grain of salt. If you have anything else you want to list down below, pros or cons, go for it. Start a blog post, invite your mom to it. I don't know. But I think this one will actually be a game for the books. I think going forward, we're actually going to see some very, very interesting stuff. And I think a lot of people are going to be, they'll probably leave for a little bit, go play some Warzone, and then they're going to be implementing some new stuff onto MW2, and they'll be like, oh, wow, that looks like fun. And they'll come right back. And it's kind of like the same thing with MW219. It was dead for a little bit. They introduced Warzone, something new, and everyone came back to MW219. It'll be the same thing with MW2. They'll add something new. It'll get the attention of a lot of people, and they'll come right back. But with that all being said, I really do appreciate you guys sticking out and listening to what I said about Modern Warfare 2. If you did enjoy, like I said, make sure you drop a like, comment down below if I missed anything or if you wanted to add on to anything. And if you enjoyed the commentary, you know, there's always that subscribe button. You could totally like hit it. It's, you know, I don't know if it's red anymore because YouTube's out here switching their whole platform, but you know, hit it. It might change to the color red, it might not. And yeah, take care everyone. I will see you guys in the next upload. Woohoo!